Hello and welcome to Nltv News. Now this is Johanna Muri and we'll start with the headlines. Joining voices of organizations like NSF, NSC, NIM and now Naga Hoho has taken a jibe at Higher Educational and Tribal Affairs Minister Temjan Along for his statement over Naga flag and constitution in Nagaland Legislative Assembly recently. Naga Hoho terms Along's statements as exhibited his deliberate, outrageous attitude towards the Nagas. Former Noklak DC Rainy Wilfred pleads not guilty in the alleged sexual misconduct case against two minor girls at Noklak filed on July 2021. Kemungyan Menu Hoikam questions negligence of public and administrative reforms for failing to take any disciplinary actions against the accused. Major fire breaks out at Patso village in Noklak district on Sunday with properties worth more than lakhs of rupees burned down to ashes. No casualties reported, but the cause of fire yet to be ascertained. Banking services, electricity, transportation and railway services interrupted by a two-day nationwide strike. The nationwide strike called by a joint forum of Central Trades Union to protest against government policies affecting workers, farmers and people. BJP leader Pramod Sawant on Monday sworn in as Goa's chief minister for a straight second term. The top brass of BJP leader including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and BJP National President JP Nadda graces the grand oath-taking ceremony event besides Chief Minister of BJP ruled states. Now the news in details. The Naga Hoho has claimed the statement made by the Nagaland BJP President and Minister for Higher Educational and Tribal Affairs Temjan Along in the recently held Nagaland Legislative Assembly where Along stated that the Naga flag and constitution are not achievable in proposed solution to the protracted Naga political issue. Along also stated that the government of India won't give a separate constitution and flag to the Nagas, hence the Naga should come to an understanding to live in peace and prosperity. Naga Hoho termed his statement as absurd and said Along's statement exhibited his deliberate, outrageous attitude towards the Naga rights to live freely as distinct people and the uniqueness of Naga political history as recognized by the centre. The Hoho even accused Along of being an agent of the government of India by mentioning that it was not the first time he has spoken on behalf of India and urged every sensible Nagas to condemn such people who act as enemy to his own nation. Former Noklak Deputy Commissioner who was charged with allegations of sexual misconduct and molestation against two minor girls at Noklak has pled not guilty. The ongoing case against former Noklak Deputy Commissioner Rainy Wilfred was fixed for consideration which was held on Friday, on March 25 at Twinsang. However, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act court judge has framed the charges following the accused pleading not guilty of any misconduct for which another trial is set to be held have been fixed to proceed on May 24, 2022. Meanwhile, the Kemungyan Menu Koiham has questioned the negligence of public and administrative reform for failing to take any disciplinary action against the accused during the process of trial. KMH further stated that the law is equal for every individual regardless of how high profile the accused may be and demanded that the allegation accused may be kept under custody to ensure free and fair trial. Nagaland Medical Dealer Association has appealed the Southern Angami Public Organization to allow passage of medicines transportation to Manipur. NDMA states that they understand the sentiments of SAPO and for that reason they requested the organization to allow passage of medicines transportation to other states in midst of indefinite ban and to consider the movement of vehicles pertaining the essentials and life-saving medicines. The National Highway 2 straightening in the southern Angami area being the lifeline of Manipur state. NDMA also urged the government to intervene and take up the matters immediately to solve the issue prevailing between SAPO and Manipur government. The Sumi Kipimi Kukakulu expressed concern at the high misuse funds of amounting rupees 82.79 crore in the Nagaland Educational Department, as per the reports from Comptroller and Auditor of India. SKK expressed shock as to why no organization has raised voice despite the fact that an open corruption has been taking place in the broad daylight. The SKK called for urgent and speedy intervention of competent authority to investigate and bring the matters to public domain. The student body also alleged the department for failing to impart quality education to students, especially for the ones who were solely dependent on government schools. Furthermore, the SKK stressed that the mismanagement in the school education department should be of a great matter of concern to all and especially to the student bodies. A seminar on mental health and wellness was held on Saturday in Futuro town. Notably, the seminar was conducted by PEG District Administration and MSK under Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme. During the seminar, senior specialist NHAK Dr. Nuvutso Keso graced in as the Grace resource person. A major fire broke out at Patso village in Noklak district at Sunday at 12 p.m. Reportedly, properties worth more than lakhs rupees were burned down to ashes with no casualties reported. Notably, the cause of fire is yet to be ascertained. Militant outfit Hiniwitrep National Liberation Council HNLC on Sunday stated that social workers Sadon K. Bla interlocutor Sokar TP stock upon Bla interwith Hiniwitrep National Federation. President also stated that interlocutor should Bla to communicate with government-appointed interlocutor Ba Peter and A.K. Mishra. Both interlocutors to work hand-in-hand to bring peace and stability. A positive step towards achieving peace, stated HNLC's General Secretary. HNLC appoints social worker as interlocutor for peace talks. HNLC appoints HYNF President Sadon K. Pla as interlocutor. Bla to communicate with government-appointed interlocutor Ba Peter and A.K. Mishra. Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma, while addressing the Youth Leadership Conclave at Srimati Sankardev Kilanketra on Sunday, stated that national registration of citizens should be rewind and done afresh. Sharma remarked that they are having discussions with all Assam Students' Union on this matter. Earlier on Thursday, Agriculture Minister of Assam Atul Bora stated that list of NRC which was published in August 2019 will not be accepted. Bora further mentioned that the state government has decided to move Supreme Court seeking re-verification of the NRC. Meanwhile, advisor of AASU Samajwal Bhattacharya remarked that many illegal Bangladeshi people's names were included in the list of NRC and that they do not want an illegal Bangladeshi free NRC. Bharat Bandh, a two-day nationwide strike called by a joint forum of Central Trade Union, begins today. Some essential services like banking services, electricity, transportation and railways are impacted by the strike. All Indian Trade Union Congress General Secretary Ajmer Kaur said that they are expecting participants of over 20 crore formal and informal workers with mass mobilization of workers across the country during the strike on March 28 and 29 to protest against the government policies. Mass mobilization will be undertaken by unions in railways and defense sectors in show of support from the nationwide strike. Through the protest, the worker unions are demanding a number of policy changes, including the scrapping of proposed changes in labor laws, privatization of any kinds of national momentization pipelines. Other demands include regularization of contract workers and increased allocations of wages under Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Act, NREGA. The Union Powers Ministry issued an advisory to all state governments and electricity authorities to prepare themselves to ensure maintenance and reliability of the electricity grid during the ban. Three-time MLA Pramod Sawant on Monday took oath as the Chief Minister of Goa for a second term in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other dignitaries. Notably, the Governor of Goa, P.S. Sridharan Pillai, administered the oath of office and Sawant and 8 other BJP MLAs as cabinet ministers. It is to be mentioned that the oath-taking ceremony was held at Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium at Taligya, Goa, near in the state capital, Panaji, in the presence of a large number of people.
Order dated March 21, 2022. He will assume office from the date he is administered. Honorable Chief Minister.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath on Monday took oath as the member of Legislative Assembly in Lucknow. Notably, Yogi Adityanath is the first-time MLA, while he had previously been a minister of the Legislative Council in the state during his first 5-year tenure. Meanwhile, the newly elected members of the 18th Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly Vidhan Sabha will be administered his oath today. The newly reconstructed Sri Lakshmi's Nirmasha Swami Temple in Yadadri Bukavangiri district in all set to be inaugurated on Monday. Notably, Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao will be inaugurating the temple. It may be mentioned that during the Mahakumbh Samponi Krishna ceremony of the temple, the entire cabinet will also be present at the occasion. Notably, the agricultural masterpiece has been constructed with 250,000-ton black granite. It may also be mentioned that the temple exhibits a fusion of both Dravindra and Katiyan style of architecture. The 94th Academy Awards were held at the Dolby Theatre in Los Angeles and were hosted by Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes. Coda, the big winner of the night, winning the Best Picture award. The film was nominated in 3 categories and won in all 3 categories. The other 2 are Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor for Troy Kutcher. Oscar 2022's In Memoriam sector fails to pay tribute to legend Dilip Kumar and Lata Mangeshkar. Dune won 6 awards at the Oscar out of its 10 nominations: Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Visual Effects, Best Film Editing, Best Sound, and Best Production Design. The Power of Dog, which had 12 nominations, has its name, won just 1 award. Jane Campion won the award for the Best Director, whereas Will Smith won the first Oscar of his career for his performance in King Richard, and Jessica Chastain won Best Actress for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Best Supporting Actress was won by Ariana DeBose for West Side Story and Samuel Jackson. Elaine May and Lee Ulam were honored with the honorary Academy Awards in 2022. Also, the Japanese emotional epic movie Drive My Car won the Best International Feature Film, and the Jean Helshirt Humanitarian Award was given to Danny Glover. S. J. Shankar on Sunday arrived in Colombo for a bilateral visit. During his visit, J. Shankar will attend a Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation meeting. The EAM will be in Sri Lanka from March 28 to 30 for the Bimistic Electrical meeting. J. Shankar said that the bilateral meetings and interactions in Sri Lanka will be highlighting the priority that Sri Lanka occupies for India. Union Minister for State and Tourism Kishan Reddy on Sunday stated that visas will be given for free for 5 lakh foreign tourists on first-time, first-served basis. Notably, the centre has resorted all the categories of tourist visa for foreign nationals after India resumed its international flights operations on Sunday on a regular basis after 2 years. It may be mentioned that Visa Conscientious aims to bring the tourism sectors on recovery path. It is to be mentioned that earlier all the tourist visas were suspended on March 23, 2022 due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, a meeting of Ministers for Tourism and Culture, Chief Secretaries and Secretaries of Tourism in state governments will be held at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi on April 12 and 13 to discuss measures of infused strength in tourism. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is all set to host an hour-long cabinet meeting on Monday to discuss ways to achieve peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. Reportedly, Erdogan spoke by phone on Sunday with Russia's President Vladimir Putin, and notably they agreed that the next round of talks between Russia and Ukraine negotiators would be held in Istanbul. The Telugu Desam Party on Saturday asked the centre to invoke Article 360 of the Constitution and claim financial emergency in Andhra Pradesh to protect the state from alleged gross mismanagement by Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy regime. The TDP has requested the centre to simultaneously order an investigation by CBI into the alleged misappropriating of public money to the tune of 48,000 crore by the state government in 1 year. Leaders of opposition in the Legislative Council, Yana Mahal Ramukrishnu, said that the probe was for the Jagan Reddy government and also proved its honesty. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur on Saturday said that around 70 lakh people visited the Indian Pavilion at Dubai Expo 2022. Anurag Thakur is in Dubai to participate and witness in the Indian Pavilion at Dubai Expo 2022. He said that people have gathered in huge numbers to witness India's pavilion at Dubai Expo. Minister further stated that people are excited to watch Indian exhibitions including yoga, Ayurveda, tourism, textile, cosmic world and cinema world.
एक्सपो 2020 दुबई में इंडिया पवेलियन के बाहर अगर आप देखेंगे लंबी कतार लोगों की लगी है अंदर आने के लिए, भारत के अलग अलग जो एग्जीबिशंस हैं उनको देखने के लिए, चाहे वो योगा से लेकर आयुर्वेदा की बात हो, ट्रेड का क्षेत्र में टूरिज्म से लेकर टेक्सटाइल हो, या फिर कॉस्मिक वर्ल्ड से लेकर सिनेमा वर्ल्ड की बात हो, एक बहुत बड़ा अट्रैक्शन का केंद्र भारत का पवेलियन बना है। और इसी इंडिया पवेलियन में लगभग 17 लाख लोग अब तक आ चुके हैं, जो अपने आप में दिखाता है कि बहुत बड़ा एक आकर्षण का केंद्र इंडिया पवेलियन यहां पे रहा है।
President Zelensky on Sunday said that Ukraine was willing to become neutral and compromise over the status of eastern Donbas region as part of peace deals. The Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has agreed to hold talks in Istanbul and called for a ceasefire and better humanitarian conditions. So far, more than 1,000 civilians have been killed in the ongoing war and more than 10 million displaced. Institutions in Russia and Crimea have reached out to students, especially foreign medical aspirants who were in Ukraine, as well as consulars based in India, and offered them admissions on their campuses. Russia said that these candidates may become accommodated in Russia's medical schools at no additional cost and without an entrance exam. Similarly, assistance for transfer has come earlier than institutions in Kyrgyzstan, Georgia, Armenia, Belarus, and Poland. In fact, about 140 students, instead of returning home during evacuation, have reached Moldova and were directly admitted to the Nicolae Dementiu State University of Medicine and Pharmacy, SUMP, a government-run institute in Chinnesu. The United Kingdom on Sunday said that it was pausing publicly funded research and innovation collaboration with the Russian over its operation in Ukraine. Notably, Science Minister Georgia Freeman said in a statement that they will not fund any new collaborative projects with the Russian through their research and innovation organizations. Notably, the ministry will also suspend government-to-government dialogue though its Science and Innovation Network team in Russia, which also included collaborative science projects. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is expected to come to India this week, days after the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited. The visit by BY6 Lavrov will focus on strategic issues resulting from the war, as well as specific discussions on purchasing Russian oil, payments mechanism, given sanctions against Russia banks, and conclusion exclusion from the SWIFT. The Modi government initiated in the parliament have considered offers of discounted Russian oil and special inter-ministerial government group headed by the finance ministry to look into payments issue for Indian importers. The visit comes amidst a fluffy trip by several leaders from the Western-backed sanctions regime, seeking a shift in India's position, which still does not have criticized Moscow for the invasion. The Indian Premier League said that the Mumbai Indians have been fined after they maintained the slow over rate during the Tata India Premier League 2022 match against Delhi Capitals at Bourbon Stadium, Mumbai on March 27. Rohit Sharma-led Mumbai Indians have been fined ₹12 lakh for the offence. It was the team's first offence of the season under the IPL Code of Conduct relating to minimum overrate offences. Punjab Kings' new-look explosive batting made a splendid debut as they clashed down Royal Challenger Bangalore's 205 with an over of spare. Punjab won the toss and chose to bowl, after which Bangalore's FAF DU Pulses managed to turn things around after having scored just 17 of his first 30 balls. Virat Kohli supported him with 41 of 29 and Dinesh Karthik provided the finishing cameo of 32 of 14, but it was no match as Punjab proceeded with a sensational effort to overhaul the target. The PBKS innings started as brutality as Bhanuk Rajapaksa scored 43 of 22 balls and Shekhar Dhawan scored 43 of 29 balls. Punjab Kings' Odin Smith was named the player of the match in another fixture of IPL. Lalit Yadav played the innings of his life with an unbeaten 48, while Akshar Patel smashed 38 out of 17 balls as a depleted Delhi Capitals started their IPL campaign with a stunning 4-wicket win over Mumbai Indians here on Sunday. Chasing a challenging 178, Delhi were down to 72 for 5 inside overs, but lesser-known Delhi all-rounder Yadav claimed his calm during his 38 balls unbeaten knock to take his side home. India all-rounder Patel chipped in with a quick-fire 17 balls, 38 out of DC overhauled the target with 10 balls to spare. Delhi Capitals' Kuldeep Yadav picked 3 wickets and was adjourned at the play of the match. Thank you for tuning in. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Jio TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel